All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video as we go deep dive on the hottest guy in the NFL right now, and that is Niners quarterback Brock Purdy, who's absolutely on a scald the last month or so. We'll talk a little bit about Purdy. There's some good stuff. You know, it's funny. You go on Twitter, you see a bunch of stuff, a bunch of videos, a bunch of people talking about Purdy, and some of it's garbage, but some of it is spectacular. And we stumbled on a couple of them that we're going to share with you in this video. We should tell you, check out Pig and a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out 7 days a week. They're soon to open in Petaluma in 2026. All right, let's talk a little bit about Brock Purdy. Purdy's hot right now. He's playing incredibly well. When you look at what Purdy has done since, week 15, 131.5 rating, 83.5% adjustable completion rate, 976 total yards, 13 touchdowns. 13 touchdowns. Baldy's probably one of the best in the biz is breaking stuff down. Here's what he said about Purdy the other day on the radio. He said, Brock is not missing right now. He is razor sharp. I think this is the best he's ever played in his career. He's got 10 touchdowns the last 2 games. They've won 6 in a row. It would be hard to stack any quarterback in front of him right now with how he's playing. And the way that he does it, he's just a surgeon with how he's going about it right now. And, you know, it's like when you hear that, that really is, kind of a lot of the things that people used to say about Joe Montana. He's surgical. He's absolutely surgical. If you look at since he came back from the injury, the Niners are averaging 35.7 points per game. That ranks first in the NFL. They have a 59% conversion rate on third downs. That ranks first in the NFL. They have a 73% red zone touchdown percentage. That ranks second in the entire league. And their drive touchdown percentage of 42% ranks first. Brock Purdy is smoking hot right now. I mean, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, who expected this? Did anybody expect this? If you say you expected this, I just don't buy. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Why? Because he was supposed to be diminished after coming back from turf toe, and instead he looks better than ever. He looks like the quarterback that we saw in training camp in July and August. It's really an amazing transformation. Rex Ryan on ESPN the other day said he's the most underrated quarterback in the league, and it ain't close. No quarterback in this league throws with more accuracy, timing, and anticipation than this guy. Brock Purdy is special. That's Rex Ryan, defensive coach. Knows a little something about defending quarterbacks. Niners, by the way, are a 1.5-point underdog Saturday night against the Sea Chickens at Levi's. And we'll see if Brock Purdy can get that one done and get the number 1 seed. All right, we teased that there's a couple amazing videos out there. The first one is Brock Purdy. You can find it at Jake Franklin FB on Twitter. Brock Purdy talking about throwing the ball in an NFL collapsing pocket, and basically, the process that quarterbacks have to go through with these monsters that are standing around them, where you can't just see everybody. You have to anticipate where everybody is. And if you hear Brock Purdy has said many times, I'll take an okay receiver who's in the right spot at the right time over a superstar receiver who isn't. So it's really about the timing that the quarterback has with the receivers. And if you go about your practice reps with some diligence and some purpose, by the time you get to late December, you're in pretty good lockstep with your receivers. And that's what you guys are seeing with Brock Purdy. Here's Brock talking with former Niner quarterback Alex Smith about how sometimes in the NFL, you got to play fast. There's not a lot of time. And listen to these 2 quarterbacks discuss the pocket around them and how it collapses and trying to throw and survive and succeed in the NFL despite limited visibility on many of your throws. Here's a little Brock and Alex Smith.
Is there something you guys do to simulate that?
Yeah, so we usually have the base bag drills,
this
what we
right
call
here.
it. Yep. So obviously Kyle Shanahan, Brian Greasy, all the guys here, they're huge on just having a base within the pocket to be able to throw in a telephone booth, just like we talked about, in tight windows, getting hit, and finding a way to have my back foot planted and, like I said, creating space to have a base.
Something I really struggled with when I got to the NFL, and it took me years to do this, was getting comfortable throwing passes that throwing it blind. And in college, I never did that. How has that process been like for you as you transition to the NFL?
We talk about in our quarterback room is, you're not gonna be able to see, the defense. You're about like 20 to 40% of your vision at time is gone, out the window. Like, that's how we look at it. That's why it's so important, man, with just the front, the coverage, our concept, having an idea and anticipating where I'm going first. And then as I drop back, man, like you said, you got these 6'8", 6'9" monsters coming around the edge. I'm not gonna be able to see all the time, but per coverage and per timing, I know that even though I can't see around this offensive lineman and defensive tackle pushing on me right now, the ball is supposed to be here on one hitch, no later than that, right now, right then and there.
That ability, and this comes to the anticipation part of the game, of throwing these balls on time before receivers are breaking.
I mean, obviously growing up, it's always, you want to see the guy come out of his break, where's he going, and lay it. But dude,
it's comfortable.
It's comfortable, but man, at this level, it's so fast, things are happening, you can't, the minute you blink and hesitate, it's closed, it's covered. And so for us in the NFL, as an NFL quarterback, it's like, dude, I have to throw before he's out of his break, and everything is so based off of like the yardage, the marker, the distance, the landmark for us as quarterbacks. Like, if you ask a quarterback, would he just have a freak receiver or a receiver who knows what he's doing but isn't as talented? I'm taking that guy every time because I know where he's going to be, because I'm not always going to have my vision, and I need him to be where he's supposed to be in the timing of the play.
All right, there you go. A little Brock Purdy there with Alex Smith talking about, sometimes in the NFL you just got to make blind throws. And so it's the practice reps are everything. And the guys have to be where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. Brock Purdy plays on time and he delivers the ball with precision, but the receivers have to help him out. They have to be in their spots at the right time, at the right step, and everything's got to be synced up. So that throw that he threw to JJ, which we're going to look at right here in the second video, was absolutely an amazing anticipatory throw. Rex Ryan made a point on ESPN the other day. He's like, this guy throws guys open. It's one thing to, play with anticipation. It's another thing to lead guys to the voids and zone. And if you looked at Brock Purdy's numbers, by the way, against zone, my good friend Matt Bowen broke this down. Matt's on the Matchup Show with Greg Cosell. And by the way, Purdy is absolutely on a heater. Last 3 games, 23 of 30 for 295 and 3 touchdowns, 25 of 34 for 295 and 5 touchdowns, 24 of 33 for 303 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Niners have put up 37, 48, and 42 points. But where Brock is really, really good, and you're going to see it in this next video starring, from Kurt Benkert tweeted this out, at Kurt Benkert. On Brock Purdy's throws between the numbers against the Bears, that's in the middle of the field, 17 of 22 for 230 yards and a 96.2 QBR. Throws against zone coverage, 15 of 18 for 204 yards and a 92.9 QBR. He carves up zone coverages, and he's really good in the middle of the field. All right, let's play this next one as well. This is Kurt Benkert. Benkert tweeted out, when I was backing up Brock Purdy, and Benkert is a former Illinois quarterback who was a backup to the Niners, to Brock Purdy and the other quarterbacks a couple years ago. And he says, talking about Brock, he says he always stayed after practice and went through plays he missed behind Jimmy G, and here are the results. Basically, Benkert's just saying, hey, look, at the end of practice, this guy would go through all the routes that he didn't get to throw, and I'd run him for him, and he'd diligently go through it. I mean, you see Brock Purdy kicking butt. Yeah, it's great, but you know what? It's not just, you don't just snap your fingers and it happens automatically. It's through a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears, practice reps, film reps, mental reps, physical reps, talking with your receivers, talking with your coordinator, talking with Kyle. I mean, it's just a lot that goes into all this stuff. Here's Benkert breaking down the Juwan Jennings touchdown that Purdy threw. A great video here from Kurt Benkert. Here it is.
Why does Brock Purdy get paid $55 million a year? It's because of plays like these. Now, I was with Brock Purdy with the 49ers before he was ever a starter. He was the backup to Jimmy Garoppolo. I was the backup to him. And one thing I loved about him was that every single day after practice, he took the script and went through every single play that he did not get a rep of in walkthrough. And I'd run these routes for him, routes just like these. Now, this is game on the line, 2-minute drill. Gotta have it, okay? We're going to get a motion across the field, and Brock's going to have to gather in information. Quick little shift out, and look at where his eyes are. Right here. This is his key indicator on this play, and also we've got to be aware of these two guys. And look at how he processes what's happening here with a great throw, great timing, and great accuracy with anticipation. Okay? We're going to get eyes moving to the right. This is going to guarantee that we pull him to the passing strength and a cover 2 look because the linebacker is typically going to wall, meaning his back is going to be to the opposite side of the passing strength. So we have 1, we have 2, and probably out here somewhere we have 3, okay? Brock's gathering information on his first step. 1, 2, 3. First hitch. Now he's flipping his eyes around slightly. You can see it. He is trying to read this defender. Now, body language-wise, this defender's in a pretty good position to make a play. However, Brock's in a better position to anticipate and make an incredible throw to help ice this game. Now, ball is coming out right here. When a quarterback pats his hands, he's already made his decision. He knows what type of throw it's going to be. Everything is done at this point. Back up for 1 second. Look at this. Pats as he's cutting through his break, and look at where this ball is placed. Also keeping in mind where these guys are at this point in time. He has made his decision right now that this ball is going to be thrown right here. Incredible. Watch this. Bam, ball out, incredible placement, incredible timing, and this is on a frozen rope. Brock's arm looks really good right now, and he's making every single throw all over the field, and Juwan Jennings is going to go do the rest. Also want to give a shout out to Ricky Purcell. Great block to spring this, way to get in the way. But man, Brock Purdy, he's a technician. He has full awareness and understanding of the offense. He's playing with great anticipation. And we know when he needs to make plays with his feet, his toe is healing and he can get it done. And the Niners are 1 game away from finding their way into the #1 seed if they beat the Seahawks this next weekend, even though they've been through hell and back with injuries this year. They're playing good ball. Shanahan up for Coach of the Year, and Brock, he's back.
There you go. I mean, he showed it. He illustrated right there. I mean, Brock, the one thing I love about Purdy is that he enjoys the process of pro football, and he works hard at perfecting his game and his craft. He puts in the reps. And then on game days, because he's put in those reps, he can stand tall in the pocket, despite the fact he's 6'1" and change, and just rip these throws down the field. And guys, I tweeted it the other day, and I believe it. It feels like it's his time. January is going to be a lot of fun. We don't know what's going to happen, but man, it sure seems like good things are coming. We should tell you 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chats, season-long leagues, and of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry, real easy to remember, LARRY. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. How good is Brock Purdy? Well, a lot of people in the last month have said that Matthew Stafford's the MVP of the NFL. Purdy has outplayed him in the last 4 games. In the last 4 games, Stafford's thrown for 1,349 yards. Brock's thrown for a little bit less at 1,061 yards. But if you look at the touchdowns, interceptions, Brock's got 15 touchdowns and 2 picks. Stafford's got 10 touchdowns and 3 picks. Brock's got a 69.8% completion percentage. Stafford's at 63.7%. So Brock blows him away in completion percentage. Passer rating, 120.5 for Purdy, 107.9 for Stafford. Niners went 4-0 in the last month, and Stafford's Rams went 2-2. I'm not saying he's better than the Hall of Famer Stafford, but I'm just trying to point that out to illustrate the absolute heater that Purdy is on right now, and I can't wait to see Saturday night. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to Sleeper for sponsoring this video. We should also tell you thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. Check them out. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, on the Monterey Peninsula. The great Anthony Catania is at 831-521-5264. He's paying your shipping through the end of the year. Free shipping on all of your items. He's a great follow on Instagram as well. Sharp Corners 831 on the gram. Thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.